Lewis had always believed that mercy was a human weakness the galaxy didn't understand. As he knelt beside the dying creature in the rust-colored sand of Kepler 442b, he proved himself right. The beast was massive, easily 3 times his size, with crystalline scales that refracted the binary suns into prismatic ribbons across the ground. Its 6 eyes, arranged in 2 vertical rows, flickered weakly as purple blood pooled beneath its serpentine body. The wound across its flank was catastrophic, likely from a plasma rifle judging by the cauterized edges. "Lewis, we need to move," Anna hissed from behind the rocky outcropping where their surveyor ship had crashed. Her blonde hair was matted with sweat and dust, her blue eyes constantly scanning the horizon for the raiders who'd shot them down. "That thing is probably what they were hunting. If they come back, then they come back," Lewis interrupted, already pulling medical supplies from his pack. His hands moved with practiced efficiency, the same hands that had been a medic in the Earth Defense Corps before he'd resigned to join the Colonial Survey. "I'm not leaving it to die," Anna wanted to argue. She wanted to grab him by his stubborn shoulders and drag him back to cover, but she'd worked with Louis Chen for 2 years, and she knew that look in his dark eyes. It was the same look he'd had when he'd insisted on landing to investigate the distress beacon that led to their current predicament. The creature's breathing was shallow, rattling. Lewis worked quickly, using foam sealant on the wound and injecting broad-spectrum antibiotics, hoping that human medicine might at least stabilize whatever alien biology kept this thing alive. The beast's eyes focused on him, and for a moment Lewis could have sworn he saw recognition. Understanding. "Easy now," he murmured, the same tone he'd used on wounded soldiers and scared children. "I've got you." The creature made a sound, something between a purr and a sonic vibration that Lewis felt in his chest. Then its eyes dimmed and Lewis thought he'd failed. But no, the breathing stabilized. The blood flow stopped. Against all odds, the beast lived. That's when the sky split open, not literally, but it might as well have. A ship descended. Not landed, descended, as if gravity was merely a suggestion it chose to acknowledge. It was obsidian black, shaped like a dagger, and it moved with a predatory grace that made Anna's blood run cold. "Oh, fuck," she whispered. "Lewis, that's a Void Court ship." Lewis looked up, still kneeling beside the creature. "A what?" "The Void Court, the galaxy's assassins, mercenaries, they don't take contracts, they take interests." Anna's voice was barely steady. "If they're here, someone very powerful wanted something on this planet. Possibly that creature you just saved." The ship's ramp extended with hydraulic precision. A single figure emerged, and Lewis felt his mouth go dry. She was tall, taller than any human, with skin that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Her form was humanoid but distinctly alien, with elongated limbs and fingers that ended in points that might have been nails, or might have been weapons. Her face was angular, beautiful in the way a knife's edge is beautiful, with eyes that burned like violet stars. She wore armor that looked organic, as if it had grown from her body rather than been put on. This was Commander Jathara, the Pale Death, the woman who had ended 3 interplanetary wars not through negotiation, but through the systematic elimination of every military leader on all sides until peace became the only option. She walked directly to Lewis, her boots making no sound on the sand. Anna raised her weapon, a useless gesture. They both knew, but the commander didn't even glance at her. "You," Shathara said, her voice like wind through a crypt, "saved the last crystalline drake of Tau Ceti." Lewis stood slowly, positioning himself between the alien woman and the creature. "I saved a dying animal. I didn't know it had a title." Something flickered across Jathara's face. Surprise, perhaps. In 300 cycles, no one had ever stood between her and her objective. This creature is worth 6 systems. Its scales are used in quantum computing. Its blood can cure the Melthros plague. Poachers killed its entire species. This, she gestured to the wounded drake, is the last. "Then you should be thanking me," Lewis said, his voice steady, despite the fear coursing through him. "Not threatening me," Anna wanted to scream. "You didn't talk back to Jathara. You certainly didn't challenge her." People who challenged the Pale Death became cautionary tales. But Jathara did something unprecedented. She laughed. It was a sound that seemed unused to her throat, but genuine nonetheless. "I am not threatening you, human. I am intrigued." She circled Lewis like a predator studying prey. Your species is new to the galactic stage, weak, primitive, yet you risk your life for a creature you've never seen before. Why? Lewis met her burning gaze. Because it was suffering. Because I could help. Because that's what humans do. That is what humans die doing, Jathara corrected. The galaxy is not merciful to mercy. Maybe, Lewis said quietly. But that doesn't mean we should stop trying. The commander was silent for a long moment. Then she touched a device on her wrist and the Drake began to float, enclosed in a stasis field. I am taking the Drake to a sanctuary world. It will be protected. Allowed to heal. She turned those violet eyes back to Lewis. And you, Lewis Chen of Earth, have awakened something the galaxy thought long dead. My curiosity. I will be watching your species. Perhaps you will teach the galaxy something, or perhaps you will be crushed by it. Either way. She smiled, and it was terrifying and beautiful at once. It will be interesting. The commander returned to her ship with the Drake. As it lifted off, Anna finally breathed again. What the hell just happened? She asked. Lewis watched the ship disappear into the atmosphere. I think, he said slowly, I just made humanity either the luckiest or the unluckiest species in the galaxy. Anna couldn't argue with that.